Prime Big Deal Days has been officially announced for specific dates in October. Amazon Accelerate had more than 20 new releases and announcements, and we're going to go over almost all of them today. This and more on this week's Weekly Buzz. How cool is that? Pretty cool, I think. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Serious Sellers Podcast by Helium 10. I am your host, Bradley Sutton, and this is the show that is our Helium 10 Weekly Buzz, where we give you a rundown of all the news stories and goings on in the Amazon, Walmart, e-commerce world. We also give you training tips of the week and let you know what new things that Helium 10 has that will give you serious strategies for serious sellers of any level in the e-commerce world. Let's see what's buzzing. As a matter of fact, today I don't think we're going to be able to get to any new releases or training tips because this was the week of Amazon Accelerate. I just got back couple hours ago, and I want to try and get everything out there while it's fresh in my mind. Hopefully I'm not going to miss anything, but we have got tons and tons to go over today. Let's actually first hop into just non-Accelerate related news. All right, let's go ahead. Now, the first news story is from NBC News, and it's entitled Amazon just announced dates for its October Prime Day sale. Here's what to know. Now, if you guys remember a while back, few months ago, I had predicted when the regular Prime Day was going to be somehow. I used some just, common sense and mathematical things based on dates that Amazon had. And I hit the exact date 2 months in advance. Actually, 3 months in advance, I think I hit it. Now, again, a month ago, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb and try and guess when Prime Big Deal Days are. Take a look at what I said in August.
If again, I had to pick a date, it would be around October 9th. Now, let me show you why.
Well, guys, Nostradamus Bradley back at it again because look at this. Prime Big Deal Days was announced on October 8th and 9th. Guess what? I'm going to make another prediction. I think I know when Black Friday is going to be. Hint, hint, wink, wink. That's not a great prediction. I think my prediction days are over. 2 for 2. That's it. But anyways, Prime Big Deal Days, guys, it's kind of like the second Prime Day of the year is coming on October 8th and 9th. And hopefully you have, gone ahead and applied for some deals if you're going to do it. This might be the time to do Prime exclusive discounts. Don't forget, Prime exclusive discounts aren't free anymore, as we reported on the Weekly Buzz. But whatever the case is, there's going to be a lot more traffic shopping online. And when I say shopping online, it is not just shopping on Amazon for this special day, because take a look at this news story from USA Today. It says Walmart announced an anti-Prime Day sale, and it's no joke. Learn about Walmart holiday deals. Now, all right, so this is a new or special, kind of discounts that Walmart is putting on. What date is going to be for these deals that will have up to 70% off? You guessed it, starting October 8th. So it's kind of funny. Sometimes this Amazon and Walmart are going back and forth trying to one-up each other and make sure they don't have special days. But I think this is actually good for sellers that it's on the same day, because if you're doing deals on one site, you almost have to do deals on the other site because of price matching and things like that. So when Amazon and Walmart dates coincide, it allows you to go ahead and put the same discounts on both. And now you don't have to worry about things like buy box suppression and things like that. Now, one difference though between Prime Big Deal Days and Walmart Holiday Days is this article says that it starts on the 8th, but it's set to continue through Sunday, October 13th. Now, this is important because just like I just said, while the first couple days are going to coincide, you don't have to worry about buy box issues. If you keep your Walmart deals going after the 9th, and you have the same maybe product identifier, like a UPC or something like that, it's possible that your buy box on Amazon might suffer if Amazon is price matching Walmart, or price checking Walmart, I should say, and they could see that you have a special going on Walmart but not on Amazon. So something to keep in mind. First couple of days, you're good to go. It's kind of good that it's coinciding, but after the 9th, definitely check if you're going to stop your deal on Amazon but not on Walmart. Speaking of holiday deals, there's an interesting article from retaildive.com. I guess they did this kind of survey, and it says more than half of US Gen Zers are headed to TikTok shop this weekend. It said about 43% of Gen Z shoppers are planning to spend more for their holidays this year compared to 37% of millennials. However, going down deeper, it says in the US, nearly 54% of Gen Z will find gifts on TikTok shop alone. A third of U.S. respondents will shop for gifts seen on Facebook and Instagram ads. I don't know how that's a poll. do you actually answer a poll saying, yes, I plan on buying stuff from ads? So that was kind of weird for me, but however they got this information sounds pretty exact. So they're putting it out there, and it says almost a quarter, 24% of US Gen Zers will make their purchase through influencer recommendations. So just, it's kind of interesting how much the whole landscape of holiday shopping has changed. A couple years ago, there was no such thing as TikTok shop, right? So the fact that a lot of people are going to be, more than half of a certain demographic are going to be looking on this platform that literally didn't even exist last year is just kind of interesting to me. Next article is coming from Channel X World, and it actually has to do with Europe, and it's an FBA fee reduction. All right. Yeah, I did not say that wrong. It is an FBA fee reduction, not an addition. Usually when you hear me talking about FBA fees, it's about some new fee that we're going to have to do. But if you're in selling in pan EU fulfillment, you're going to be able to save from 1.60 pounds up to £1.87 for small oversized products across UK, Germany, France, Italy, and Spain. So in those locations, what signifies a small oversize? So Amazon's definition of small oversize is 61 by 46 by 46 centimeters, and unit weight has to be less than 1.76 kilograms. And then in Germany, there's another set. But hey, guys, take a look at this. If your product is in this small oversize, you might actually be getting a reduction in fees, believe it or not. One more non-accelerate announcement this week was done by Amazon Advertising. So entitled Maximize Brand Goals Efficiently with Goal-Based Bidding in Amazon DSP. All right, so now when you're doing your brand awareness campaigns, you're going to be able to specify reach and frequency goals, and DSP is going to optimize bids automatically in real time to maximize these goals. So for example, how you get started is you set the goal in DSP to awareness, you set your KPI to reach or frequency, and then you're going to choose a weekly target frequency, and then you set your optimization strategy to prioritize spending full budget. And then you hit save. So now you're going to be able to, test out this goal-based bidding. So I know not too many of you are using DSP, but something that maybe talk to your Amazon rep to get more information on, or if you're using an agency, talk to them to see if this might be good for you. All right, now let us get into Amazon Accelerate. This was my second Accelerate, and there was just tons and tons and tons of things that were released over the 3 days. Now, on some of these, we're actually going to get a little bit more in depth. I was able to interview some of the product managers at Amazon responsible for some of these. So we're going to go in depth on things like the customer loyalty dashboard and Gen AI videos and different things like that in future episodes. But for now, let's just give a brief overview of a lot of the updates. Now, first up, we had supply chain by Amazon updates. All right. So first, they were talking about, hey, they're unlocking faster delivery speeds that increase sales an average of 20%, they said. And now there's an Amazon fully managed option for US sellers to automate the entire supply chain process. So I'm not going to go too much into detail about that. We've talked a little bit about this in previous episodes. And now multi-channel distribution for Amazon warehousing and distribution, also known as AWD, it says it now offers the ability to do custom labeling, allowing you to distribute products in bulk to different sales channels, including other marketplace services. All right. So, this is something that before, you might not have thought that Amazon would be down to do, helping you kind of basically drop ship to other channels. And they're cool with it going to other marketplaces. That's going to be a kind of a theme on some of these announcements I'm going to talk about from Amazon Accelerate. Now, speaking of Amazon logistics and supply chain, there was a lot of MCF and Buy with Prime announcements. All right, a lot of different enhancements. First of all, if you are using Buy with Prime on your website, now you are going to be able to accept PayPal payments. All right, you can't do that yet in Amazon. But if you're using the Amazon Buy with Prime, like on your Shopify, WooCommerce, you're going to be able to accept PayPal checkout. So that's going to be pretty cool. And then actually starting next year, if you're a Prime member, they're going to be able to link their Amazon account to their PayPal account so that Prime free shipping benefits are available automatically. Another update was if you are doing Amazon DSP, like we just talked about, you're going to be able to now run ads on Google Shopping ads and TikTok ads, all right, to drive more traffic to your buy with Prime enabled option. So, all right, so here's how this works, if I'm understanding this correctly. So let's say you've got buy with Prime listings set up. Now, if you recall, buy with Prime, it's been around for a while. It's so you can have on your website a literal buy with Prime badge, and you are able to see, the shipping time. So basically your Shopify customers, if they purchase on your website, they're going to get it delivered from your FBA inventory or MCF inventory. But now if you're running DSP ads, the cool thing is they showed a couple examples of this is like in the Google Shopping, which you can't link directly to an Amazon listing. All right. You can't put Amazon listings per se into Google Shopping. But if you've got your Shopify or WooCommerce or whatever listing there that has the buy with Prime, which basically goes to your Amazon inventory anyways, you're going to be able to see the shipping time. All right. So like, 2-3 days shipping, it's going to actually show up in Google Shopping, right? Which has not been done before. And also in TikTok advertising. All right. Not TikTok Shop. All right. We're not talking about buy with Prime inside of TikTok Shop. We're talking about that if you run a TikTok ad, it'll overlay onto a TikTok, right? You're going to see that Prime badge right there where it'll say like 2 days, 3 days shipping, and people can just go ahead and buy it right from that TikTok ad. And again, that's going directly to your Amazon Prime inventory. So a pretty cool enhancement. Like a few years ago, you wouldn't have thought that Amazon is down to like help sellers, sell on other platforms and things like that. Like last year, Amazon Accelerate, the big announcement was how you could have, Shopify integration. That would have been unheard of just 2 years ago, and then now we're talking about, integrations now with Google Shopping, integrations with TikTok Shop. So this is, I think, a move in a good direction here. Another supply chain announcement. We've talked on the Weekly Buzz before about how Amazon's really pushing their own shipping methods, and so now Amazon has released a new Amazon Shipping mobile app. So with these, you're going to be able to schedule pickups from your warehouse, oversee inventory across multiple warehouses, receive real-time updates on delivery vehicles and everything. So that's like for those of you who are kind of like using Amazon now, as like you maybe have used UPS or something like that before. Another update was if you're using MCF, multi-channel fulfillment, historically, I think the fastest shipping was like 4 days, but usually 5 days or more. Now MCF is going to qualify for 3-day shipping. So pretty cool. If you're using MCF to maybe run your TikTok shop or for your Shopify website, and that's how you're, shipping, you can now get 3-day shipping, which is a huge update. Now, that was the main announcements for day one. Let's go skip to day two now, which had a lot more announcements. And the first one was like 5 new generative AI tools that are going to be designed for sellers. Let's go over them. Now, the first one was a Amazon code name, all right? It says Project Amelia. It says adds a personalized Amazon selling expert for every seller. Now, what this new app is going to be doing inside of Seller Central is it's going to be a generative AI based tool where you can like have conversations with it. Like you can say, hey, Amazon or Amelia, I'm not sure if you have to call it Amelia or you call it Amazon or whatever the case is. You can be able to ask simple questions like, how is my business doing? Which products of mine have sales been down year over year? You're going to be able to ask questions like, what is the status of the shipment that I sent to Amazon yesterday? So basically the things that you would normally do in Seller Central that you would just have to, go around on menus to find and things. A lot more of it now over time, it's not going to be rolling out all these things at once, but you're going to be able to start asking this Amelia, Project Amelia app, these questions, and it's going to go ahead and respond just like generative AI does. Now, not everything is something that I think that all sellers are super excited about. But hey, I'm here to just report the news, and let's give some honest feedback on it, and let's see how things play out. Now, the next thing, it was entitled "Expanding Generative AI Product Listing Capabilities to Get More Products in Front of Customers Faster." Right? So this is nothing new per se. Amazon has had announced like last year, generative AI ability to just like get a picture, from a picture or from a brief description, make a listing. Now, the last time I tested it, let's be honest, let's keep it real. Well, this is a no BS podcast, right? Well, it was not that great. And I would never actually recommend somebody using that because, we know how important keyword optimization, listing optimization with the right keywords is for getting indexed, for being able to run ads. And the AI back then, when it started, there's no way it was going to be able to ever get all of the right keywords from day one in your listing if you're just using it, right? Now, that being said, that was a while back that I used it. I'm very curious as to how it has perhaps improved over time. I still don't understand. I just can't picture any world in which you uploading just a picture or two of a product and maybe even one line of text is going to make sure that Amazon gets all the right keywords in your listing. I just can't imagine it, knowing what the status of Gen AI is now. But I got to give it a fair shot. So I'm going to go give it a try in like a little mini case study soon. But anyways, what was released yesterday at Accelerate was now you're going to be able to even, if you do trust the Amazon AI listing creator, instead of just making one listing, you can like have some minimal information on a bulk upload file, and then you can create up to like 10, 20, 30, 50 listings or more, all with generative AI. The next Gen AI thing that they talked about was A+ content automatically creates brand storylines that attract customers. So with this, it's actually allowing you to take like maybe just your images or your listing, and it's going to use Gen AI to create A+ content just from an image. So like, for example, you can see here, those of you watching this on YouTube, it just took a couple pictures of some shoe, and then now it like put it in these lifestyle setting kind of images automatically designed directly for your A+ content for your listing. And not only that, it's generating the text that comes in on the captions inside of A+ content. So, like for people like me who, I use agencies like professionals like AMZ One Step to make my A+ content, and some people might not be able to afford that. So if you're not able to afford professional agencies to shoot specific content, now you might be able to dabble into this A+ content. Don't forget that even in Helium 10, we have an A+, or not an A+ content generator, but an image generator that you can output in the format of different A+ content modules as well. But now Amazon is going to have this completely for free. So this is kind of like a cool update that Amazon is going to offer. Now, the next one, I think most sellers I talk to, and myself too, are the most skeptical about. Basically, it's an announcement where they're saying, hey, they're going to use Gen AI to personalize product recommendations. That part is cool. And descriptions for customers, including the title. So as far as the recommendations go, that's totally fine. Like I don't think that's going to affect us negatively. I think it might be a positive thing. Like, for example, it's going to start basing more things off of the customer shopping activity instead of just offering customers more like this. Like you've probably seen that when you're shopping on Amazon, it's going to give more specific recommendations such as gift boxes for Mother's Day or cool deals to improve your curling game. That's the example that they give. Like, who in the world outside of Canada needs improvement on their curling game? But anyways, this is something that's going to be interesting for their recommendations. But as part of this, there was a kind of like a demo given that Amazon is going to kind of like redo titles in the search experience. Okay, so it's not necessarily rewriting your titles. That was an announcement done before, how Amazon is going to sometimes, change up your title if it doesn't think it's good enough, and you can opt out of that program. But this is different. It's like if somebody searches a certain keyword, the way that it sees your title in the search results, again, this is just the way it's displaying in the search results. It's not actually changing your listing. It could change some words around based on if it thinks that it could cause the customer to be more likely to purchase. Now, this is the one where people are like, I'm not sure if we can trust Amazon, to change the title of my product that I spent a lot of work on. So this is one I think we're definitely going to have to see in action, start tracking it to see, once this starts rolling out, is this going to negatively or positively affect sellers? Is it going to help your conversion, your click-through rate, or could it potentially hurt it because it just starts putting these random hallucinating AI words there? This is one of those ones that we're going to have to wait and see. The A+ content, I'm like, hey, go ahead and start using that right now, guys. I think it's available in most people's accounts. Let's start playing around with that. But anything that has to do with like changing titles and keywords, obviously, I think a lot of us sellers are a little bit more skeptical about. So let's see how that one works out. Now, another cool thing that, maybe you're skeptical or not, but I think it's pretty cool because I saw some of it in action, is the fifth thing that they're using AI is creating highly engaging video ads. So it gave a couple examples, like there was just like a speaker, and then it put it in this crazy background with, like a beach. And then not only that, it actually made a video like with waves crashing on the shore. The other example that I really like that it gave was it showed a cup of tea, just a picture of a cup of tea with steam coming out of it. But then it totally made it the video, like the background was dynamic and the steam, you could actually see it coming out of the cup. So, for those of you doing like special video ads, sponsored displays, sponsored brand ads, this is going to be cool. Like videos work better than just still images. It really conveys emotion better. And now instead of having to pay tons and tons of money to an agency or have some special 3D modeling, you're going to be able to use generative AI to generate these ads. So that's definitely going to be pretty cool. One thing I neglected to mention from day one, I forgot, was the drone delivery. All right, so that was a pretty cool announcement where they're like, hey, by the end of this decade, I'm assuming 2029 or 2030, whatever they assume is I assume is the end of the decade, they said they expect to have done 500 million drone deliveries. I mean, there hasn't been barely any yet because it's not fully launched, but they're aiming for 1 hour drone deliveries and to be able to make 500 million of those in the next 5 years or so. So that's going to be pretty cool to see your, maybe coffin shelves being delivered by drone to people's porches. All right. That's going to be a pretty cool release. Next up is something that I'm not going to go too in depth today on because I actually interviewed the product manager for this tool and it's going to come out in a future podcast in a few weeks. But there's a few new analytical tools that Amazon is launching. You can see some of this information in your dashboard. But one of the cool things is customer journey analytics. It says it helps you spot trends and pain points so that you can create strategies to optimize the shopping experience. It says this tool maps an end-to-end view of the customer journey from awareness to consideration to intent and purchase. All right. There's going to be enhanced audience tailoring. All right. We've been doing brand tailored promotions for like, abandoned cart customers and different things like that. But now there's going to be even more opportunity to tailor make your promotions to certain audiences. And then the last tool that they announced under this was Business Planner, an AI powered tool that helps you identify opportunities for sales growth. And again, the first two, like, hey, let's go for it. This next one is probably the one that some sellers are, a little bit more skeptical on until they actually see it in action. But it's basing it off of what Amazon's is going to recommend that for actions that you might take to help your account. Now, there's some other various announcements made after this. I don't have a bunch of slides on it or news articles, but there was somebody who talked about how the counterfeit crimes unit are really cracking down on a review manipulation and sellers who are, opening up fraudulent accounts and attacking other sellers and fake reviews. And it was really cool. A lot of people were applauding over some of the announcements that they made about how they're really trying to crack down on a lot of these black hatters out there. So that was pretty cool. Another department that came up on stage was the customer service department, for seller support, the support department. And, at the first part, I think a lot of sellers like, oh, brother, what are these guys going to say? This is like one of the most, I hate to use the word, but almost hated departments at Amazon. But I think they got probably some of the most applause during their presentation because they launched a few things where like now you can 100% of the time do these chat customer supports where you can, get resolution right away instead of going back and forth, making emails all the time. And this is going to be pretty cool. Along with the live chat, you're going to be able to share your screen even live with an Amazon customer support rep. Instead of them asking you to take a screenshot, then you send it, and then 5 hours later you get a reply and they ask for another screenshot, you're going to be able to take care of that stuff live because it is going to be right there with a share your screen. So that's going to be something I think pretty cool. A lot of sellers were excited about that. And then probably one of the biggest announcements was that there's going to be the ability to connect to specialists. All right. So from what I hear from people that have had, been in the beta, it's almost like going to Amazon Accelerate and having a seller cafe appointment. By the way, that's like one of the reasons to go to Amazon Accelerate. You can get some of your issues solved in real time with like a specialist, like somebody who really knows what they're doing, as opposed to somebody who I'm sure we've all had experience with where they're just copying and pasting answers from a knowledge base or something, right? But you're going to be able to connect with a specialist And it's going to be way more likely that they're going to know what you're, how to fix your problem, because that's like all they deal with. As opposed to they're trying to be jack of all trades, they're going to be specialists with a certain thing, like maybe compliance or something else. By the way, there's a lot of announcements based on compliance too. But that, I think a lot of sellers were really applauding about, because, how many of us have had that frustrating situation where we're trying to get our point across to a customer support rep, and it's obvious they have no idea what the heck we're talking about. And then we're having to like go back and forth over days, where now you might be able to get your stuff resolved in minutes with just one person from start to finish. So that was something definitely really cool to look forward to. Other things is like generative AI, where there's going to be potentially, again, I talk about good things where it's like, hey, show me the money. Like, this is great. Let's start on this right away. And then there's, some things that's like kind of like, hey, we need to take a wait and see approach. But there's going to be some generative AI things where you might be able to get stuff solved with just a bot, kind of, right? And I know that kind of like is a turnoff for some people, but AI is helping bots get a lot better. But one of the examples they gave was you could like say, hey, I need to change the product dimensions on my product to this by this by this. And then that Gen AI bot, as it were, is going to say, all right, let me go ahead and take care of that for you. All right, without even having to open up a case, without even having to maybe go into your listing to change it there. So that could be pretty cool. But let's see how that works. All right, so that's about it. I probably knocked out about 15, 20 of those announcements. Like I said, in a future 2 or 3 podcast episodes, we're going to go a little bit more in depth on some of these. I also did a recap video with Andrea Marquez, who is the host of the This is Small Business podcast. That's the Amazon hosted podcast. And we went over a couple more of these in depth. And then I brought on some Amazon product managers, thanks to the Amazon team. And we're going to go a lot more in depth on some of those analytical tools and some of the Gen AI tools. So a lot of exciting things coming to the podcast, a lot of exciting things coming to Amazon, right? Highly recommend, guys, if you've never been to an Accelerate, mark your calendars. I'm sure it's going to be around the same time next year, maybe around September. You have got to go to this event to like be the first to hear about these, special things that are being released by Amazon, to be able to network with 4,000 other sellers. It's kind of like a really unique experience. And I had a great time thanks to the Amazon team and thanks to all of you. I met so many of you out there at our Helium 10 booth, and just walking around is really great to connect with a lot of you. So hope to see you at some future events. Don't forget, next week I'll be at the Seller Kingdom event in Seoul, Korea. h10.me/Seller Kingdom. You'll be able to register for that event at the end of October 31st. It's going to be an Amazon advertising event in Sydney, Australia. So make sure to come out to that. And then November 11th, we're doing an elite workshop in Milan, Italy. So mark your calendar. If you're in Europe, that is another event you can go to. So guys, thank you so much for joining us this week. We'll be back next week to see what's buzzing.